Okay, let's look at the hi-hat. Rather than diving straight in and trying to add the open hi-hat, what I always suggest to my students is to back up a little bit. You've got the groove under your belt. You're able to play it even with the hi-hat closed. Okay, we've got our skip notes sorted out. We've got that displaced quaver on the and of 4 sorted out. So that's all sitting there just ready for us to come back to. But we want to be able to add in the open hi-hat. The open hi-hats on this are on the and of 1 and the and of 3, and then in the second bar it's the same, the and of 1 and the and of 3. Now, as I say, rather than trying to dive in, play the groove with this, that's a bit tricky, okay? So, simple way is to think about playing a simple groove. So let's just do a backbeat groove, but in our left foot, and I do this in quite a number of songs that I play whenever I'm performing, if they follow this kind of pattern. I will stomp down on my heel. Don't know whether you can see that or not. So we'll do it like this. There's my heel, there's my toe, there's the hi-hat foot plate. I'll go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, because by doing that, all right, let me explain. 1 and. Okay, so I'm opening the hi-hat on the and. 1 and. I think there's a part in White Room, classic track by Cream. I'm from the generation that listens to all that stuff. Hopefully you do too. The legendary drummer Ginger Baker, whom I got to see here in Belfast a few years ago, and absolutely incredible. But there's a part in White Room by Cream where he actually does this, and he's doing the same sort of idea. I don't think there's any displacement of the snare drum, but he plays this, and whenever I'm thinking about playing this or we're working through this with some of the students, this is how I do it. So I use my foot on the hi-hat and I just count. I count crotchets basically. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going heel, toe, 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 heel, toe. And if you want to stomp in that, that's absolutely fine. Right, so the exercise that we want to do, I'm going to play a simple rhythm. So let's just start with the backbeat. Now, what I would suggest to start with is keep the hi-hat closed, tighten it up, okay, because that might just put you off at this stage. Just getting used to that movement. So if we play, and you've got to trust me that I'm stomping 1, 2, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and then we're going to displace on the and of 4. Let's change the groove a little bit. Still stomping. Okay, so played some notes there that were on the beat and some that were displaced. Okay, but I was still on the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick a simple rhythm that you're comfortable with. Then have a go just the way I did it there, trying to displace from beat 4 to the and of 4, because that's the tricky one. All right? But all you're really doing on your left foot is you're keeping time. Heel, toe, heel, toe. Now I have that deliberately closed tight. All right? Then the next thing is try the same thing again. We're going to open it, not as much as that. Okay. Open. So let's do our simple pattern again. Again, remember, we're going to be going heel, toe, okay? With the hi-hat open this time. 2, 3, 4. Simple pattern to start with. Let's displace quiver. Okay, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. We're taking a simplified rhythm to get used to adding in the hi-hat. Just remember, we've got the rhythm sitting there in the background, albeit with the hi-hat closed, but we've worked our way through it. We now know how to play it. So then, very gently, very easily, we're going to try to start to add in those 16th skip notes. So you could, if you need to, back it up again, still play the quiver on beat 4, but add in your first skip note saying bar 1. So it's going to sound something like this. 2, 3. This is just the exercise, of course. We're still working up to it. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I was playing 2 and 4 on the snare drum. Now try it and play it the way that Clyde Stubblefield did it, by displacing that quiver from beat 4 to the end of 4. Here we go. Alright, try it slowly as you need. I'll just play it like this, at this regular tempo. If you need to try it slower than this, remember we're still going. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the hi-hat. Alright, 2, 3, 4. Just the first bar. Okay, so you can play that as often as you need. Slow it down. Even if you need to cut the bar in half, absolutely fine. Second bar gets to be a little bit more tricky with the skip notes, but at least we're not having to displace the snare drum beat from 4 to the end of 4. So let's have a little go with that. And again, you can use this method. We're kind of breaking it down into a simplified form, and then we're starting to add in all the component parts to make up the full pattern. Alright, so again, heel, toe, okay? So even if you want to add in, just say the first skip note, you can do that, and various ways to approach this. So have a little go, see what happens, see what works best for you to work this out. I'll just have a go at playing the full bar, then we'll put the 2 bars together. You can see the approach that I'm taking to this, and hopefully that's going to help you to be able to play the groove. Alright, so here we go. Okay, let's do that second bar again. Okay, and 1. Alright, so you've got the groove, the full groove sitting in the background. You've now had a go of looking at how we can play the hi-hat. We've got a technique there. We've got something to help us. Heel, toe mechanism going on there. And we'll put the whole thing together. Let's do it slowly. 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do it up to speed. I'm still not worrying too much about the ghost notes. Leave that to the end. That's going to be the final little spice that we're going to be adding to it. Okay, so here we go. And finally, performer level drummers. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson on Clyde Stubblefield's famous groove. Have a listen to the original. And if you really want to get into playing funk, there's no better place to start than here. So we're just going to finish, going to play it, the 2-bar phrase, hopefully with all the ghost notes, and look forward to seeing you next time in the next video.